So with Turbo Granny gone, what's going to happen with Okarune's powers? Hey everyone, welcome to Prince of the Gate. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 5 of Dan. And yeah, Turbo Granny has been defeated and wiped out. So what happens next? Because Okarune's abilities and everything kind of relied on that. I brought up the idea of him like going through different abilities based on different spirits, but I don't know if that's what's going to happen here. It would be a really cool idea though. Um I don't know. There's still characters in the opening we have to meet, so maybe that will be involved in some way. I guess I guess we'll just have to watch to find out, maybe. But yeah, it's just I wasn't able to record this last week because I had gone to Youmacon the day this came out. I didn't have the time to get to it before I left. So this is being recorded day of release, which means I'll be recording episode 6 tomorrow. Day of release, I mean by day of upload on the channel. But yeah. And just for that clarification, if you're watching this in the future, this is taking place like the day after election day and everything. So if I seem very out of it or like in a really bad, upset mood or even quiet, that's why. Feeling extremely hopeless and, you know, not mentally okay. So I'm trying my best here. I wanted to still get stuff up, but I wanted to like temper your expectations. I'm not going to be as high energy here. I'm not going to be as excited or whatnot. I'm going to try to go into this and still enjoy it as much as I can. But yeah, just wanted to let you know. Um, I did record OKKO before this, so and that helped a little bit, but still. I'm interested to see where this goes. This series is one of my favorite things I'm currently reacting to, I would say. I hope that this continues to be as great now that our first arc is over. So let's get into it and see what this episode has in store for us. Cutting in here real quick to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions with 2 on Wednesday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. I pre-record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend. And don't forget about the gaming channel. We have Baldur's Gate 3 every single day. We have Horizon Forbidden West every Monday and Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays is Life is Strange Double Exposure. And Wednesdays and Sundays is Beyond Two Souls. On Saturdays, we have both Poppy Playtime and Nier Automata. And on top of that, don't forget to click the link in the description below to get to today's reaction. I redirect everything just due to copyright. You know how it is. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video if you want to see more awesome content such as this. Thank you so much for tuning in. And for now, let's get to today's reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So until the end with Turbo Granny, this episode was very slice of life, which I kind of appreciate because most of this show has not been. It's been very high energy, high octane, a lot of crazy shit happening, aliens, ghosts, etc. So having an episode that's like 90% slice of life, it allows us to take some time to breathe, especially after the first arc has ended and we're now moving into this next. So we have Okarune and Momo kind of dealing with their new friendship, and both of them being pretty bad at it. It's the next day of school. They're trying to figure out how to navigate this friendship, trying to figure out how to meet with each other and everything, and even trying to figure out exactly what this friendship means to them. Okaroon has to deal with going back to being bullied and picked on, or just being an unexpected target of things coming at him. And Momo is dealing with her friends and all classmates poking at her for information about this newfound friendship, and trying to find out if it's romantic or not. They end up during lunch trying to find each other, but somehow narrowly avoid each other the entire time until the very end, in which they very, very briefly accidentally kiss. And this leads to them going back to their bickering and leads to full fighting. And eventually, after he realizes his balls are gone again, she says some stuff that's not great because she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed about the teasing she's getting from her friends and all. And so she's not only denying it, but being very aggressive against him in order to push it away. They do make up afterwards, but it was a really harsh moment that was really sad, because you know she doesn't mean it. But to see her put him down that much, and to see how he reacts to it and everything, it's sad. But then it goes into the last section of this episode, which deals with the return of Turbo Granny and the cat. So Turbo Granny, prior to being burnt up and everything, managed to hide away in Okaroon's body. So the only spirit that actually died there was the location-bound one, the crab. She wasn't exorcised. She was at her weakest point and hiding away in his body, but she wasn't exorcised anyway. So Seiko manages, with Momo's help, to pull Turbo Granny out of Okaroon and put her consciousness, as we find out, specifically her consciousness, into the Lucky Cat. Because the paper fan separated her consciousness from her power. So this will allow Okaroon to continue to transform. To continue to take on his turbo form, we'll just call it. And now I guess the goal, at least for the moment, is to find his balls. Because apparently she dropped them somewhere. It's interesting that she is willing to cooperate with them after what Momo said, though. It shows Momo's empathy and care for people. Especially in regards to, connecting over the souls of those girls who were, raped and murdered. But we also see that Turbo Granny actually has, even if it's just a small amount, she does have some good to her as well. Which we found out about last episode, mind you, but are really getting to see here. And Momo's like, let's make a deal. And she's very nice about it. Let's make a deal. We'll give you your powers back if you give Okaroon his balls back. And she accepts it, but it's you have to find them. I dropped them. I don't know where they're at the moment. We also met Ira in this episode. So Ira is the pink-haired girl who is one of the notable characters in the opening. Which means there's only one more character we haven't met at this point from the opening. Ira, when we first meet her here, has this kind of soft-spoken, cutesy persona. She's very kind, very nice, very forgiving and respectable. And then, after leaving Okarun's side, we find out that that was all a mask she was wearing. In reality, she's manipulative and kind of a bitch. She seems to play around with people just to mess with them, which pisses the shit out of Momo because she cares greatly for Okarun, even if she doesn't realize it's a crush yet. And she uses her powers very subtly and very sneakily to drop that wash basin on Ira's head pretty aggressively, too. Like, she doesn't just, like, have it, like, oh, lightly fall onto her head. No, she slams it down onto her. And it's like, Jesus. That would hurt. That would probably hurt. Probably, it wouldn't be, like, devastating, but it would hurt. And then even when, like, afterwards, she, like, goes up to Okarun and it's like, your glasses look nice, you're so charming. And then she, like, side-eyes Ira, and she's like, stupid bitches wouldn't understand, basically. And it's like, damn, Momo, stand up for your man. Ira definitely seems like the kind of character, though, who's going to develop. One, she's clearly a main character. She's in the opening, very notably focused on, too. And two, I've seen these kinds of characters in anime before. You have a character who starts off as kind of an asshole, kind of a bitch, kind of, like, you know, a terrible person. But through interacting with others, especially main characters, they'll end up coming around and becoming a lot better. They end up becoming not just likable, but better people overall. Obviously, an easy example to give to this would be Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. Vegeta starts off as, you know, a straight-up villain, a terrible, evil person, but he eventually becomes kind of like a really cool, nice guy. He won't admit it because he's kind of tsundere. Vegeta is kind of tsundere if you really think about it. But he's actually a nice guy. And you get to see that at various points where he, like, defends the people he cares about, especially Bulma. He adores the shit out of Bulma. But yeah, I love that. I love that you can have a trope like that because it's pretty realistic. People absolutely. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Whew, knew it. People absolutely go through that kind of thing. I've talked about how I've changed and how my own growth has happened from being, you know, kind of terrible in a lot of ways to being a lot better of a person. And because of such, discovering a lot about myself. I've talked about that plenty on the channel. And yeah, it's a very similar thing here. It's like she's starting off as a bitch, as a terrible person. Not like the worst of the worst, but still a pretty terrible person. And she's probably going to be, like, by the end of the series, one of the, like, best friends a person could have. She's probably going to be pretty close with both Momo and Okarun. And this other character we see in the opening as well. And I like that. Because a redemption arc of sorts, this would be considered a redemption arc, is a trope that is done a lot, but never feels overdone. It never feels like it's too much. This is one of those tropes that is just always something to kind of strive for if you can make it work for your series or movie or game or whatever. Because I feel like it's just one of the better tropes out there. Like, a good redemption is just really good. So, yeah, I'm all good with this, and I really hope that it's done very well. I don't expect, like, Zuko levels here. But I would love to see, like, some really good moments with this. But yeah, I'm very, like I said, very excited to see more of this. This series continues to impress. Um, but tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think in the comments below about the Lucky Cat being Turbo Granny, about Ira and her potential. Tell me what you think about this episode being like 90% slice of life. Let me know your thoughts down below. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.